Okay, Jeremy here, Jeeps Unlimited, partsbreakers.com. Been selling Jeep parts 18 plus years. If you watch my videos, you probably realize that I post on the fly, which means that customers will call. They don't even request it. I'll go to say I'll send some photos, and then I end up at a video because photos are great, but they hide so much. And I love the fact that in today's world, with all the other crap we have out there, and almost too much of the technology, the videos I feel like do, for product at least, I wish more people, especially when they're selling used stuff, would volunteer and do these. Now this one, and this is a perfect example, this one was freshly painted, but it's super dusty right now. It's been sitting out here for about a week since we got it back, so this will all come off, but it is a textured, it's even got some bird shit on it, excuse my French. But we'll get it washed off, so don't, I should have cleaned it off before. But again, I have to leave for LA in the morning and I don't have a ton of time right now, so I'll have the guys clean it up. But it's textured paint, and that's the way they come factory. Actually, there's two ways a JK top can come, or TJ, but mainly they started this in the JKs. That one is available as well, and that's the rare. Well, they're both rare, but the TJs are, because they're a little older, are exceptionally hard to get tops on. But anyway, back to this. So there's a painted version, which is like painted to match your Jeep, and the textured one you can do that with it, but it is have a texture to it. So if you were to paint it, let's say your Jeep's white, and that's usually the ones you see those painted tops on, you can get it there, but it's gonna have, instead of a smooth texture, it's gonna have, or a smooth surface, it's gonna have some texture to it. So the black tops were just the factory black JK tops that they did from 2007 to early 2018, meaning that in 2018, Jeep turned gears on us again and they went to the JL. So if you have a 2018 and you're not exactly sure which one you have, JK or JL, easiest way to know is in your fender, your front plastic fenders, are your LED lights, your turn signal lights, are they built into the front of that fender? And if they are, then you have a JL. And if they are not, if it's essentially just a big piece of plastic and then you got a little round marker in the side of it, I think it's round, and you're in the JK cam. So this will not fit on a JL, and that's why I emphasize that. And I don't have a JL top at the moment. So the back glass is here. It's in the shop right now. We pull them out sometimes, not all the time, but in this case, when it was painted, it was already out. I didn't have the guys reinstall it. And mainly just if they back into it, it's going to be that they break, because they have done it before. And unfortunately, that's like a couple $100. So I just told them leave it out until somebody buys it, and then we'll install it. And then of course, the other pieces you're not seeing here, which are included, are the Freedom panels. And those are the two panels that go above your driver and passenger, and they kind of interlace into each other and lock in place. So that's it. They're pretty simple to use. You can see the defrost here. So we'll get those put back on. I'll have Jerry solder those back to the tabs, that's how they do them from factory when you get glass installed. And then there's the water and that. Now on TJs, to give you a little bit more information, you probably want to know, if your Jeep did not come with a hard top out of the factory, it won't have any of the provisions, meaning that you won't have the defrost plug or the wiper stuff. And if you want to do that, you have to convert it, and it's time consuming and kind of pricey, a couple $100, and then several hours of your time, because you got to replace the dash harness. On a JK, it can be either or, and I've seen them both ways. So you can look back in your left hand corner, it would be this corner here, and if there's a plug, and sometimes they put them underneath the carpet, so you can pull your carpet up and take a look at it and see if it happens to be sitting there. And if it's not there, it's not there. Honestly, in my opinion, no matter what it is, TJ, JK, I usually, if you don't have it, I usually say don't bother with it. It's nice to have a wiper, don't get me wrong, especially on a 4-door, so it might be of advantage, but it's, again, it's a little bit time consuming to put one in, and definitely a little bit of money to do one. So we can do that for you here if you happen to be local, but it is a process. So, and I have to find the exact year you have, yada, yada, yada. So anyway, here's your inside of it, okay? And all the seams are nice and clean, like they should be, and all the way back, and it's just white. So this gentleman had asked if there were carpet in them, and out of the factory, at least the ones, and they may have made a special edition with factory line, but factory tops, doesn't matter if it's TJ, JK, or YJ, I've never seen carpet installed from Jeep. Again, that doesn't mean they didn't do it. They may have, but I've never seen one in the yard. so that if they did, they didn't do a lot of them. Now, I've seen a ton of aftermarket tops have them, and that's actually usually how I tell if it is aftermarket, if it's got carpet on the inside. I'm not a huge fan of aftermarket tops. It has nothing to do with the liner. It's just they're not made super well, so, and they tend to whistle, leak, and then they have no resale value whatsoever. Nobody wants them after they've been said and done, whereas these always hold their value. So, but nonetheless, I'm sure on a JK they make everything for these things, and I can probably dig one up for you. Otherwise, you're more welcome to, you know, just Google it and see what's out there. So, okay, so that's it. That's my spiel, and give you, hopefully it covered this top pretty well, or at least where you're at a little bit. Nice stickers on the outside. Probably want to pull those off, and we can blade them if you want, but normally we just leave that stuff for the customer to do later when they're bored. But again, if you want us to do those, we no problem with that. And then notice the side, there's a couple of the little cotton things out here from the trees, but there's no chips in the corners, and that's where these things get nicked up the worst, mainly when they get put on concrete and they get slid around, and then they chip pretty easily. So okay, so that will shine up real nice. Like I said, it's because it's textured, it needs to be washed. It can't really just be wiped off. And then again, TJ hardtop there, that's a tan one, factory hardtop, and I haven't had one of those in the yard in almost a year. That one there, ready to go. What was I gonna say about it? Oh, if you don't want tan, you can paint those. They're really easy paint. Or we have a guy locally that did this top that can do that one for you as well. So, oh, that. All right, so let me go in the garage for just a split second. And you know, if you're watching this video, it's let's see, today's date, July 15th, 2023, and you're watching this, you know, in 5 years, then it's doing what its job was, which is advertising for us as well. But there's your Freedom panels. There's a couple paint, I didn't have these painted, so there's a couple, but I can get you the cleaner of the, I think we have 2 sets of these right now. So, but overall they're in good shape. There's no cracks in them, which is the most important. And like I said, I'll pull out the one that has the weather stripping that looks semi-decent. And if you want new weather stripping, we can probably order new if they need it, but I don't think those do. That Jeep, I remember this when it came in, and it was nice and sealed up. So, but those are the top pieces that I was telling you about. And then the hard top, or the glass, I mean, I think was here. I might have put it up top. I might have to come back to that in a minute. Let me look in the office real quick. Our mess around here. And that's the JK I just got. So but it's only got a soft top. I was going to check to see if there's any hardware on that one. And it's just a chassis. The guy took the frame out from under it, so we bought the rest of it. Yep, there it is there. So, so this is your top glass and your wiper blade again. And if you have the plug, then we'll plug right into it. And hinges are all there. We have all the hardware. We'll bolt all that up for you. And then I don't know, I'll see if we have the cover to that guy. That's the wiper motor. Oh, I think the cover's right there actually. Yeah. So I got one cover for him. So, okay, so that does it. We're doing big cleanup yard work, starting getting into our inventory time of year. So if you call or see something online, and you know, not everything's listed right now, is what I'm trying to say. So, all right, partsbreakers.com. If you need a hard top, I got one more out there that's a YJ. It's a good time of year to buy YJ tops. TJ and JK tops are pretty much solid all year round. And they fluctuate from 2,000 to 2,500. They go up in the winter time. That's the worst time to buy them, even though the heat sucks too. For whatever reason, people prefer less to freeze their butt off than they do, you know, sweat. So they always go up about $500 right before winter time, and they'll last all the way till May. So words of wisdom for me, I always tell people to buy hard tops in the summer. Doesn't matter where you're at. You know, the Phoenix and the Vegas areas are the only areas that in the summer, the hard tops are worth more than in the winter. And it kind of flip-flops just because it's so hot down there. But anyway, I'll be heading to California tomorrow. So just in case you happen to see this YouTube video, and it's, again, the 15th of July, 2023, and you're not the customer that I talked to this morning, or just a little bit ago, and you need parts, I'll be heading this trailer, and I have probably about 20 feet of deck room, unless this tub sells, and then I'm going to have very limited, but I'll still have a little bit of room for engines, axles, transmissions, you know, pretty much anything. We have 7 acres out here, So you let me know. I'll be going through St. George, Vegas, and then the lovely Los Angeles area that I loathe going into with a truck and trailer, let alone just a car. But anyway, it is what we do, and that's how we make a living. So I appreciate it, and have a great rest of your weekend.